Me and Rich up here, and what a pleasure this is going to be. First person perspective. You know what? I'm a big fan.
We've been looking forward to it all week long, and now we have 2 days of action. And you know what, so far, the CIS boys, they are not failing to disappoint whatsoever. We said it wasn't the best showing in TPP. This was the playing field for them, and they had to prove it.
And they are. They're doing very well for themselves. Na'Vi with a step up of Vanguard. A lot of the teams now starting to rise up. Someone who's not, though, is Liquid. They have not been playing the game I expected, but the Chinese teams are looking good, deadly in this. A lot of people are questioning, can they compete on this sort of platform? The answer is yes. Flat out, you cannot question it. The Korean teams are looking aggressive, assertive, and putting placements on the board. We'll see if that continues forward here. It is day 4 overall. This is round 3, and it is FPP.
I think if it's one good thing that this whole entire competition has done, it's broken the boundaries of, okay, Eastern teams, they more play TPP. The Western teams are all about FPP. It's not like that at all. These guys can shoot. These guys can aim. And every single one of them loves to play FPP. And honestly, it's showing. It's great to see. You love to see it. Everyone kind of steps up. I think the difference we need to talk about a little bit is how people are approaching the circle. You guys are going to see the first initial circle. We can touch on that in just a little bit of a second because it's a little bit wild. But for someone like, let's talk Genji Gold, for example. When we saw them in TPP, they like to approach circles a little bit late. You can kind of understand that. Being on Novo, they have to be very, very careful when crossing the bridge. We've seen a few times in Europe where teams, unfortunately, do get caught off guard on their rotations. But when they arrive, they do the little 2-2 split. Whereas more Western teams, you see your big fraggers, you see, Jeeves, you see Gemty. They'll get on the bikes, they'll dive on in there, they'll be the scouts, and they're the scouts because they can take the fights individually. From the standpoints, they're aggressive, they can frag out, they can get kills when they land and then call in the cavalry. The rest of the team turns up. More for someone like Genji Black, Genji Gold, for example, they're turning up a little bit late, so Western teams are already there waiting for them ahead of the game.
See if that continues forward. Some nice moves from Edge. Land the bike. I don't see him on the kill feed, so it's okay. He's managed to keep it in check. It's all right. But overall, this is still people getting used to this different game mode. If you've given everything you've had in the last couple of days in that third-person perspective, mentally you've got to get that switch in. You've got to get your brain in that right place. So they've had the first couple of games. They've had their warm-up. Now it's time. Oh, he's got some moves. Now it's time for the real deal. So everyone's going to be going to their locations. We're seeing a lot more attention towards Stalber actually this time around than we had in the previous game. Saverny still having teams there. Not too surprising. We saw that throughout the first couple of days of the event, that was a very common position now picked up that was theoretically free prior to this. But still, first looting phase is underway. Everyone's trying to get the goodies, and that first circle had already come in. Now that's slightly southeast, so there's a fair bit of water in there. Is that kind of river that runs in between Sosnovka Island, or Millie Island, if you want to call it that, and the mainland. So that will be into the aspect for quite some time. But this is always the fun one, is where teams like to go. Do you go for the percentage chance of it'll probably end on the mainland, or do you risk it for the biscuit and stay on the Millie base?
3 minutes 30 in, and certain teams are actually only just arriving to their loot locations.
Yes.
You know, we look down towards Na'Vi, we end up towards the higher end, where we see in Georgia Paul, certain teams are only just getting into those positions now, and there is only 2 minutes 40 until we see that circle start to closing and push all the teams together and the rotations begin. These number 1 shots at Vino, will any of those be landing? It's going to be brutal on the bike. Don't want to be wasting those so early on as well. The 5.56, it will be limited. I didn't see exactly how many he had, but again, they've only just begun this initial looting phase. The circle, though, as you mentioned, Lauren, you got the river that runs directly through. It splits off Sosnovka. There isn't that much water in, but having a circle like this causes problems because, you can edge your bets. You can never predict 100% where the circle's going to be going, but you can kind of edge your bets with a location and get in a good position to try and bring it towards you. But with a circle like this, you don't know. She could shift north, she could shift south. It's going to be wild.
You look at the teams who are waiting already on the island, who loot that area. For starters, you have the big dogs from that third-person perspective and the show match, apparently. The Korean team already sat down by Novo are locking down that bridge. That's a very early position there. So for me, that's quite a fun one to keep our eyes on, is they've early put position towards it in case maybe teams were thinking they could come across there. Maybe just that early authority coming out from them, and I like that idea. 4 times, though, up on the AK, couple of warning shots. A few connections here and there, but not much more.
You just saw the Knights on screen. Correct me if I'm wrong here. They've not actually won a major LAN event so far, but their consistency from online play to LAN play has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, this could be the overarching storyline we saw yesterday, saw 2 days ago. Genji Gold, they picked up their first ever LAN event win on a main stage. This could be the Knights tournament. This could be theirs. Their incredible survivability, I want to say, is fantastic. Their late game is just mesmerizing to see. They always have plenty of players up. Looking towards WTSG as an example, their late game.
That's scary. Refund on the run, getting tagged up there. He's down a little bit low, Funky M. He's going to try and get in towards the cover, use the terrain, with the trees, trying to block some of those shots. And he does make it away from them.
WTSG's late game. I'll just continue on this one just so we can at least break it down a bit more. Larson, we've seen solo players. It's not great going into those last few circles where you've just got one guy clinging on for dear life. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of working because they're in 4th position. They're only, 30 points out of the top 3. I think now the teams are starting to kind of feel it out and understand how they need to approach this. You've got to be surviving. You've got to be taking a minimum of 3 into that final circle to stand any chance of being able to at least claim a victory.
Absolutely, and I think you highlighted it very well there. From 2nd to about 4th, you've got a lot of contenders. So one team's going to get pretty shafted out of that. The others, certainly able to catch up. You've got Na'Vi in there, Honey Badger Nation. There's so much room to be able to jump up the rankings with that chicken dinner. And of course, kill points do count in this.
The biggest issue I see is you can't, and I don't mean to kind of not necessarily throw them under a bus here, but bring it up. You can't play the phase where we always say, oh, phase, they have a bit of a rough Friday, and then they just turn it up and then win events. There's literally 8 games. James talked about it on the desk when he touched on Ghost Gaming. Time to turn it up, boys. You've had you've dipped your toes in the water. You understand the lay of the land now and how this is going to turn out.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but this is game number 3. If you bottle it on game number 3, you're really putting yourself in a terrible position. Every single game that goes by is just another life chalked off the board. Things are going to get tighter and tighter and harder to be able to actually get these points up. By the end of today, potentially some teams might not be able to win this event.
There's potential for it. It depends on everyone else. That's the big thing in the back of their minds. This is a very tentative moment for a lot of these teams and players, is ensuring that you try and give yourself that best chance into just not today, but day 2 as well. It's a matter of consistency and not just trying to do that one-off big game, couple of shots. The teams are using their scouts here, sending them out to try and work out if the compounds are free or not. You already have one of the other players there as well for Knights, so that's not a big deal, but just the 2-2 up is always nice to have. Maybe put the bike in a nice safe position and move around, spread the wealth of the loot. We are seeing Knights under a bit of fire, but for now, Gray's sitting relatively unscathed by it. All he does finally take a bit of that flak coming towards him. The HP bar gets a little bit beaten down, but Knights have a nice compound here.
You can see just in the distance, you've got Savage, and this is going to be the story of this circle. Everyone's starting to line up across the entirety of the cliffs. Everyone's going to try and pull this center. They don't know where the circle's going to go. 2 teams, the one that landed there still remain on Sosnovka Island on the opposing side of Millie. It's just going to be so busy. You can see Refund, they're running the gauntlet. You've got Liquid, you've got Myth, you've got TG, OHM. They're going to lay down the fire. If Refund want to turn up at this farm compound area, Samty finds one. Minoru, he's down. Will he be dead? Yes, he is. That's 15 points to Liquid.
Yeah, this is huge. Now, I know that Liquid play this spot quite often. They're very commonly spotted on this dirt road that runs across the hillside. Not too surprising. And you can share this area. As much as it feels very tentative, it is shareable. There's a lot of those hillsides that roll into your favor. Samty, this is quite aggressive. They're actually moving up on this. They actually might try and push this one a little further, maybe feeling they do need the kills and they need to be assertive in this matter.
Further afield, just be aware of that kill feed because we have Na'Vi, WTSG, and OMG all crunched together on the western side.
But look how far ahead James is. This guy's quite far ahead and he could be isolated. He needs to hit the brakes, maybe put up a nade, do something because the rest of the team can't support him yet. Samty needs to get to the higher ground to be able to spot this out because Made in Thailand are hungered down. They do have some hard cover here. And now with that nade coming in instantly, you know a player is relatively close by. So they're now brought to attention. Samty does find the higher ground, so he can now have that even playing field. He can spot an angle. He's holding a hard peek here. That's a bit dangerous. If there was a Kar 98 or an SKS, something that could bounce off that helmet, that would be big. But the nades are going in. It rolls. Is that in the door, though? It's just on the doorstep. Doesn't do the damage he'd want.
I mean, by being this anchor here, they can keep him pinned inside the little shack. The other 2 are going to be open bait. Svit on the opposing side does have a very long distance flank, but again, you can fight a 2 versus 4 here by keeping that one player locked inside that hut.
It's just really important that Svit's in that position because he's essentially denying Scoom and one of the other players from trying to go for a wrap on this. So you don't want to go on the south side of that hill because you know it's going to be really tricky with the amount of teams who could look up to you. So they're going to back away from this. It looks like Liquid have gone, we don't really want to waste all our utility, try and take this fight. It's not working out. But now hearing the vehicles move, this could be, again, kind of re-engaging. Svit isn't moving away from this either.
Really quick to note, still looting, still in Georgia Pol. We do have Gen G Black. The entirety of the team is in the blue. They're only just getting vehicles now. They've got a fair drive to go. They're going to have to go around the mountain and make their way all the way down here. They'll probably be able to get out of the blue and get into the circle before it arrives. But just so you know, they are playing an extremely late game. Naya still has 4 AM looting, but they're not in the blue just yet. Gaxi, however, onto Mumino. Gets the knock, gets the flush, gets the 15 points.
And with the Vanguard's positioning currently, that bodes well for the Knights, OMG, well, with South George. If you start chipping away at the big dogs around you, that's going to be a great feeling because the Vanguard were playing a good game. We were discussing that CIS region uptake in performance, and that's going to be reflected. And this, I always find this hillside so dangerous to play because there's so many angles that you can be pushed up on that you can't see specifically in first-person perspective. The vision is a little bit harder to work around, and be it denial of vision or not, however you want to put it, it's a bigger factor.
Look at this circle. North and south completely empty. Yeah. Dead center all the way across the ridge line is just an absolute cluster bomb.
Here we go. It's shifted north. That's a big shift now. We've got a lot of movement coming through, and actually we're seeing a couple of kills coming. Welcome South George. We've just lost Gaxi.
Oh, that's an answer back from the previous one. Now this circle kind of bodes well for teams like 4AM and Gen G Black who are going to be coming late.
Yes, they
because
get the pick of the litter.
Down the bottom side of school, all in the south, the Pachinki Longwoods, it's all free. It's all prime location for them if they want to do it. And
we haven't spoken about the Chiefs, but their performance on Miramar was very nice. So we've been starting to see these guys starting to really turn up. I think Hayes had a little bit of a word in there. I'm just kidding. But these guys are playing very well, and I'm looking forward to see if they can maybe work from this. They will be at a pressure point, though. That's a big kind of highway for teams to work their way out of those hillsides and through towards the more central area now. But it looks like they want to get ahead of that curve themselves, get to a better spot, readjust.
There has to be some sort of connection there, you know, sunny area, been from Australia. It's the
feeling in the weather, huh?
The feeling.
Wait, we just said.
Oh, I've been bigging him up. I've been saying how much of a decent chance they've got, but unfortunately, I think it may have just jumped out a little bit early or fallen off the back. Oh, they flipped. No, this is a different fight altogether.
Different team, yep.
So this is the Savage versus Pittsburgh Knights fight. Where's that going to be? So that's going to be uphill from the. This is actually the Farms hangers. Diaz. You can see on screen this a little bit of a rotation is going to happen. The majority of the teams were already inside the circle. Honey Badger Nation, they've opted to take the western bridge, so they've rotated round. They're going to have to fight potentially against Navi, who are already on the western front. WTSG have taken the yellows.
Oh, this is huge, though. This is a Vanguard again. These guys aren't being let off at all. There's so much pressure coming their way. Another knock comes in. They did lose out a player. Dice was there early, though, with that M24 in hand, ready to just try and deny any peeks coming out. Revive comes in, heal comes out. They should be okay to stabilize. Nice shots from Samty, though. Good tag towards Dre, but you can see that Serpentine in the car. But it's Jeems to get it with the Scar. That's Dre down, but not collected, not confirmed yet.
Honestly, oh, is he going to get stolen? I'm seeing bullet traces from the opposing side. You need to do this one quick, otherwise at 15 points, they do.
Ibby's found him.
Ibby gets it, so Dre's down and dead. Happy there for Liquid. 2 kills in the bag, 30 points. Still 20 teams and 77 individual players alive. Savage.
Oh, wow. Look at this rotation from Gen G Gold as well. They're going on a massive northeastern swing. They were down in Novo. Keep that in mind. They're going on a huge, long rotation here. And they're not alone in doing this. There's teams from the north working their way down.
This is the problem, though. Everyone else has gone early, but these late stragglers in the form of AHQ, in the form of 4AM, they potentially might hit them. All teams and each individual, that's 12 vehicles on 3 teams up on the southern end of the circle. The positive thing for Gen G Gold there is the fact that they can hear all this, so at least they have the sound information so they know when they can arrive. If someone's going to be in front of them, DP from Dramatic trying to land a few shots. I'm not seeing anything there. M4 on the back. He's got a stock and a stick as well on that bad boy, so it's going to be nasty up close and personal. 2 ARs, well, 1 AR should I say, and 1 DP. Yeah. The light machine guns, I mean, they're in this game. The vehicles, the DP is a complete tank buster. If someone rolls up on a vehicle, it gets smashed to smithereens.
Well, Made in Thailand went out of one issue and now might have found another. Liquid look quite hungry for kills here, and they're taking any engagement that comes their way. No, not overextending, but Made in Thailand desperately going for the revive. But now the explosion Doesn't find all of them. They will get the heal off and the, or at least healing for now for one of them. One of them was lost there in the end.
I don't know if this feels a little bit ignorant to not completely disengage from this one. Liquid are applying so much pressure. Maybe Myth have the information that TG's right in front of them and there isn't really many places they can go,
Maybe.
but they've stuck by their spot. They've kind of confirmed themselves to this. There's so many other options. Obviously, they don't know this, but I would have ejected from this fight a long time ago, personally.
Here comes the next hit as well. Savage could have been a real undoing factor for Liquid there. They had that 2-2 split on the go. Now those northern teams have to, again, get back in the cars, work their way south. You've got the likes of 4 AM up there. You've got Gold up there. You've got a lot of teams working that northern route. There is a lot of room available, but it's mostly like hillside. So again, they might have to create those structures with the vehicles themselves. But beyond that, this is going to condense the mass in the middle of this. This makes it very tricky for the teams who are already there. Hopefully they've got good loot, good ammo, because you're going to get picked off left, right, and center. Profi's already fallen. I don't know if there's a revive available for him. He's quite out in the open there.
A few players will be able to turn up. Fortunately for him, it might be OHM. They'll want that one. Yes, indeed, so they confirm the kill. 15 points to OHM. Happy days there.
Oh, but look how close this is. Pudge just around that corner. So that might have to go for a play on this. He's getting shot from afar. I'm not sure where they were coming from, but Balak doesn't know how close this guy is. This is a horror. Oh, Balak turns it on a dime. Finds him, takes him down, and can get back to cover. A very quick hit from him, but he knows now a lot of eyes have just turned towards him.
He loses 40% HP, but what's that when you've got yourself 15 points in the bag? He knows exactly where that other player will be. Meanwhile, on the opposing side of Liquid, we still have this Liquid versus Myth engagement going down. 3 kills in the bag. Scoom yet to step up, but he finds the head. That's a 3-shot dead.
Good
Confirmed kill as well.
Now, again, I can't help but go back to these rotations we're seeing from Gold. They have been going the furthest rotations available, all the way to the north from Novo, and back all the way south. Keep that in the back of your minds. They may not be in fights, but these guys, we were discussing their rotations stylistically, and it's very unique. It's very different from what we normally see.
It is, but I don't think this is going to work in FPP. There's just too many people inside the zone. Yep. I mean, all of a sudden, they were nearly at the same point as Genji Black, and they're completely polar opposite ends of the map. You know, you've got South George and you've got Novo. They almost came together. This is not, for me, going to prove very well for them. They're playing this far too late, and this is what I spoke about in the early game. Arriving this late when all your FPP teams, they've all dive bomb into the middle, they've got the main compounds, you're fighting a losing battle.
We'll see. Proof's in the pudding. For now, they are stuck in a bit of a dire spot. They are locked into farm. They don't need to come into it just yet, but you do have Savage in their way, so they're going to be gatekeeping then. Chiefs did have a bit of a scuffle where they were. They're going to be maybe looking for greener pastures, but that's not so easy at this point. You've got fire coming in left, right, and center. Larson's there, but it's Knight on the other side. That's a lot of bites coming their way. And oh, he might have just made it through. No, he gets caught off the back, and it's P for Potato and Critical to go down. The clambering to confirm these kills. They do eventually get them. Knights will at least claim one of those points. And actually, it's not nice to claim the second.
Oh, that's cheeky. Just steals it away from that. Ares moves one. CGX, 15 points for them. Once again, Gold will be on the move, heading up towards the north. They can't really find a place to inject themselves into this circle. Everybody else is inside. Honey Badger Nation are teetering on the edge towards the west. Honestly, someone else has split off. Honey Badger Nation has gone for a 2-2. One of them's down south on the cliff face. Not entirely sure why, because you'd expect this circle to go to the north. It's not the greatest of places. WTSP, they still take that compound towards the southern areas. You can just hear the bullets raining down in the background. Once again, Gold. They're still trying to find a place to go in here, and as they do, unfortunately for them, they find the bullets of Liquid. But AHQ, Lauren, they're on the edge as well. They
could really help out Gold here. If AHQ continue to push towards Liquid, that's going to be a huge distraction, and timing is of the essence. Liquid just got into their cars. Scoom's still on foot, though. AHQ could completely take them down, or at least make this very uncomfortable, depending on the timing. Let's see if those shots come out any second now. For at least this second, it looks like it's time to go. Liquid, you got to make your move. You do not know how much trouble you could have been in. It does seem as though they'll have their chance to back away.
Looks like everyone's going to disengage from that one. Meanwhile, further afield, we have to touch on it. Rainies from Nabi has opened up onto Honey Badger Nation. They find the pick. They find a second one as well.
You're in trouble, Chiefs. Cheyenne Blue, talented player, 4 times up on the AK. Not going to get the shots through this time, but Chiefs can't find any chill spot to be in just yet.
Oh, I'm hearing a couple of applause in the background. That says Pino does knock down Pladuruk. kills him as well. Varden Larson, 1-on-2. Slides him. Strong player from Savage. He's gone. Funky M's down as well. Turtle, he's dead. So Na'Vi getting shots on 2 different angles here. That's quite a long distance shot. And all of a sudden it's Esker who falls victim. Kramer finds him. 15 points moving the way of the Knights. Happy days for them. That kind of opens something up. And this is what we spoke about earlier on. Everyone's just dive bombing into the middle. Players are falling left, right, and center. One team goes down. And it's made in Thailand again.
Is Rio in this building?
He's upstairs, isn't he?
This could be a huge split coming out. Ares just should play distraction, try and keep him guessing. I don't know if they know he's up there. Ares comes in, but does he check? Oh, what's lurking in the cupboard there? Bit of a monster. Oh, wait, the shotgun in hand too. That could be deadly. And yeah, timing's everything. Ares finds the angle through the window. Now where's the response? They've got to try and get it back. The UMP hasn't found him in time. And now the push comes in. Finally, no, the trade's not there.
He breaches and he gets the win. And he knocks them out as well in 19th position. That's absolutely huge. Meanwhile, kills are going down further afield. The grenades are coming in. Look, Hugh, he's down, he's out, he's bleeding, he's begging for mercy. But the grenades that keep on running in. For now, though, Drainies once again onto gold players. Na'Vi have got such a great angle on so many different teams, and their backs are up against the circle that they don't have to worry about any kind of attacking from behind.
Yeah, they're in a really nice spot. You can see Gold scrambling to try and find some safety here. They've got fire coming in from behind them and in front. There's no real safety for them. They're trying to create these sort of opportunities to work for them, but in the meantime, Refund did manage to find some of the Ghost players as well. Na'Vi continue this pressure. And I've got to say, Na'Vi starting to look like they're a bit hungry for this one, and I don't blame them.
2 players of Ghost, they did take the split. Polar opposite ends of this circle. We had one on the east and one on the west, and I think maybe for Ghost we're down to 1 individual player, and of course it had to be McCoy, the Snake himself. Fantastic job of staying alive for so long and getting as many points as he can, scraping them from the barrel here for Ghost. I think potentially as well, OHM may have a single player alive. In the northern edge, we do have this OMG 4am fight going down, which is actually kicking off as we speak. What? 2 of them are just falling back to back.
Yeah, Lion KK's shots with that SKS was so crisp then. It looked like 4am wanted to get aggressive, try and make a play towards AHQ, but in the back lines, OMG were watching that. They were keeping real close tabs on it, and now you're going to see them sign falling. 4am are in trouble. CPT gets caught on the way, and now OMG might want to try and play off the back of this.
I like how he's just playing the blue. He's not playing the blue, he's not inside it, but he's certainly playing up against it to try and deny anyone to run in, get as much denial of line of sight as possible. M4, it comes down to you. How many can you keep alive? Can you get any of your teammates up? I think this circle will probably do the damage and finish him off. He'll be a solo for now. I'll go full-blown YOLO and just try and survive as long as possible. The circle will constrict in. McCoy, how are you still in this, my friend? He's literally on the edge.
Still in here, so we do currently have some teams in a nice position. Liquid's in a good one. Gold have just lost one of their players. That's a response to, I think, Scoom getting knocked earlier. But Lion KK, this guy's starting to come into this game now with that SKS. He already got those great tags earlier on. He's just been claiming those kills. But we're going to be seeing TG having to work their way in. Refund, Knights, Honey Badger Nation, welcome to South George. Na'Vi as well have to start working their way forward. And Jeems is still doing the damage. Vanguard, we want to know what's happened with these guys. They had a struggle at the start, but that's a good bit of work coming through, confirming if they could, but no, kill gets stolen.
It does indeed. And Octave has to be careful. One more player lurking in the shadows just up to the north of them. Simson, last man standing here for gold. Eba stepping up. You'd expect him to have level 3s as well, because I'm seeing an AUG in hand. The AUG, it might be 5.56, and we might have had a nerf on them, but my God, that gun absolutely rains hell up close and personal. See if he's got the level 3s on there. Mini to hand with an 8 times, so he can do long range, just packing 5.56. Happy days for him. The meds are good as well. 6 stims, 5 first aids. Life stats will come in. 4-4-4 at the top. What have we got? Liquid, Na'Vi, OMG, WTSG, Genji Black, yet to kind of raise an eyebrow here in this game.
And they've got a lot of room as well. They're controlling the vast majority of the northern side, but welcome South George. Turn their attention away from Na'Vi, spin it around and take down Honey Badger Nation. They lose out on so many. And now they need to work their way forward, but the CIS Giants stand in their way. They lock this down in between them. You have Genji Gold as well. Not easy to get past this. Remaining players everywhere. Miraku's going to make a mad run for it. Yaxi gets a freebie. That's a big pickup and a half. So that's not bad at all.
I mean, they've been playing Snake so far.
Uh-oh, Aries.
249 in a ghillie suit isn't bad. I like how we're seeing so many players with M224. So we've got 249, we've got a 24, we've got an AUG, plenty of big boy guns in play here. Again, Gangster with that ghillie suit, he can creep through the grass here on Erangel, try and keep him alive.
Now let's take stock of what we're seeing as who's got the big real estate here as well. It's the northern teams. You're looking at OMG, good positioning. Genji Black, good positioning. Liquid, good positioning. Aries, though, still trying to make that M24 work for him. But welcome South Georgia up for the fight. They found Molodoi. That could open up now the avenue for them to push further forward. Gaxi, Larson, Vard, and Miraku have to get past Na'Vi, who's trying to get that hot hand behind them as well. Vard jumping for that information, trying to get those jump peaks going. And with that M249, maybe they can get some of that suppressing fire, take down some of these cars, trying to avoid these nades coming in. Gaxi with the fire, he's trying to keep him locked down. He spots them out, but trying to land those shots without overextending. But Ebar on the flank, he's trying to find a wider angle. Good shots from Gaxi, but not good enough. Ebar far better, but the trades come out. Miraku takes down Drainies. It's not one without an answer here.
That's absolutely massive because it gives them some sort of
And
kick.
the nade, and the nade.
Oh, the vehicle got him. The vehicle actually got him. That's rather unfortunate. Another one's there behind him as well. Completely decimates his life. You're probably not going to get a res from that one. You'd expect about one player it's Ebar himself with all the level 3s tanked up, but what can he really do against all the onslaught from oncoming teams? Ilame's gone. He now just needs to play a McCoy, to be honest with you, but Liquid are also there. They see him. But how far further can he go in this competition?
That's a huge question. He's in between a rock and a hard place, but now again, let's look at that new circle here. The good ground stands still. With Genji Black, they're in a great position in the north. You've got Liquid trying to solidify their position. OMG, the northeast is theirs. Every other team has to get into that new circle.
So we've got Ghost, Na'Vi, and Gold, all with 3 individual snakes. Just praying that teams will fall around them. CGX should see Simson if he does raise his head. He's pinched between WTSG as well. 2 teams literally all around him. He's on the crest of a hill. Well, he's in the shadows at least, and he's got some grass. Liquid, they've got a nice defilade to play from. They got rocks, they got vehicles, they got trees. Refund, they're gone. So are Team Gates as well. That's rather unfortunate. Excuse me, they're not. Pino's still there. One of them did fall to the blue. 31 players individually, 11 teams in total. One more and we move into our top 10.
And I like how greedy the 2 big teams in this currently are being. They're taking a lot of real estate, and what I mean by that is they're not allowing too much freedom for teams to move in. You run the risk of the split, but still, welcome to South George. You've got Miraku starting to get that hot hand in this game, starting to feel it out. He does find one of the gold members, maybe one of the last remaining ones as well, so that's big for them. That's going to open up an avenue of approach. A couple of shots their way, but actually not too much of a contest there unless Liquid turn their attention, but they've got to do a refund. Pino could have been a real threat. Gets knocked, goes down, and actually that could be refund gone.
It was, so we've gone refund in 9th. I believe it was 10th. It was the Chief in 11th with gold. So now all of a sudden it's a Vanga who start to be falling victim to Liquid because they have eyes on so many teams. They are so spread out across this map. However, Aries finally doing something with the M24. He finds Scoom. Scoom's the guy that looks out for Liquid's backside. He's the scout. He's the one that will protect them from behind. And all of a sudden, a Vanga will start to rush this.
He's on the push. He might have seen this. He might have understood the positioning. He might try and get in there and just ruin everything that's going on. Samti's on the revive. He's just hoping he's got a second or two. But if Keen gets a nade out, pops that in. I think he's going for the hill right now, but it's Miraku again. Can someone stop this guy? James has been finding kills. The nade comes out towards Keen. So again, Liquid locking down this area, but OMG might be knocking on that door. And if Liquid aren't careful, they could get caught out here. Ibby on the move, maybe securing new land. Look at this land grab that's going on here.
I kind of feel like Liquid's in the best position. All right, the center map, but everyone else is just, everyone's shooting around them, Pansy. You've got 2 teams in the north. You've got OMG looking towards
Bard and Miraku, they're pushing in on
aggressive.
This. They're going to go for this one. James goes down, though. This could be a bit of an issue now for Liquid, but Bard has to be careful. Hits the deck. OMG still alive. Taking on that fight, we welcome to South George. The new circle shifts north. You still got Genji Black up there. You still have Liquid. You still have OMG. But this is huge from OMG. Locking down that southern side now, taking those long-range shots and to just keeping those kills coming in. 5 for them now. You can see the distance they're operating at and how well that's connecting for them.
James did get a bit overzealous there, but still, Ibby's you know, he's confronting it. He wants to at least get the fight, get the information, so then if he does die, he can relay back to his two players inside the circle what's going on ahead of them.
That's the big thing here. He might be disposable at this point if he can't get out of here safely. What can he do while he's in this position? How much damage can he cause? Right now, though, it's the Na'Vi remaining players getting revenge, or at least I should say remaining player. He was the only one left standing, I'm pretty sure, at this point. He's been doing everything he can, and Welcome South George killed his team, so he's trying to get revenge. But actually, it's Genji Black in the backlines helping them out.
Ebaz just knocked 2, and then the third one went down from Genji Black. So now it's all come down to Bad. That entire team has almost just been wiped out. That's insane. Scoom's gone down, Lion KK, OMG, it's time for them to strike, and the same on the opposing side of West.
Vard's trying to move in. Liquid are now under fire. You've got OMG from the northeast. You've got, the nade! Scoom! Gets locked out. You're down to Ibby and Samty now. Let's keep eyes on OMG because they're starting to really get into this game. There's another kill coming through, confirming that one for themselves. Every other team right now is nervous, and I do not blame them. You have the East and the West currently being locked out by the Korean side and the Chinese side. Everyone else in the middle, the Europeans, are quaking.
How much further can they go? They're all just getting the lay of the land. Sexy Pig. He's stepping up on this right-hand side. Vard, he's just hoping they don't see him. I can see all the grenades already been put in the player's hands. The DP comes out for Grammatic. You see the shots coming from a distance.
Vard's been spotted.
That's over the shoulder from Liquid. They don't know where they are yet. They're going for these grenades. They're trying to blow the vehicle, which they do. He doesn't tank the player. He's still full health right now. I'm still hearing shots in the back line. So either this is OMG, see, it's Vard trying to answer back here. Doesn't get any knocks yet. Liquid still sat in the middle, crunch between these two teams, just hoping that they take down Vard because they get seen, because they haven't. No shots have gone their way yet, Lauren.
Vard. Move, Vard, move. He's on fire. He's burning alive right now, and Grammatic puts him out of his misery. Genji Black doing some real damage, but OMG finally get a spot towards them. Liquid were being kept safe almost by Vard. He was their little bit of a safety net, but now the circle moves towards them. This creates this battlefield between these two in the east and in the west. Genji Black could be moving towards the south, trying to find an angle, but if he gets spotted, gets tagged up, taken down. It's a nade from Lion.
But again, they have this backup system. They have this backup plan of Samty, who's just pinned down behind a vehicle, behind a tree. Not many people can see him. And now for him, he can let this battle unfold. He'll happily see OMG and Genji Black just go at it. You boys, do your job, kill each other, and I'll try and stay alive for second.
This is almost mirrored in the way they're approaching this. Esther has the opportunity, if he fancies it, to maybe go on that northern flank. The smoke wall goes up. They're going to try and deny vision, allow themselves possibly more room to move or get forward. Ibiza gets confirmed dead. We still have Samty alive. 3 teams, 9 players. OMG and Genji Black still hold the vast majority of players here. 4 alive. Good pick coming in, though, from OMG, forcing Sexy Pig into a bad position, considering he only has bandages and some boosts, and that blue will be on his back pretty soon. OMG now, it's time to start moving forward. Consider the route. Silent goes down. Is Genji Black still leading the way here?
A nice start. They got the initial pick, but the answer back is there. Sexy Pig, he hits the deck, and now you can see him with the M4 drilling with the ACOG. Can he find any more, though? It's 1 down on each side now. 9 individual plays. That's a nasty tag, down to about 10 HP. Would you go for the vehicle? Can you see him underneath it?
He's worried about the other angles. The replies are coming in from that SKS. He wanted that angle here. Only 8 bullets left, though. Look at Grammatic. He's got down to 3. He has very little to play with now. That's what you need, though. The DP switcher comes in, takes down the car, but it's Sexy Pig finding another. This is huge play coming out from these guys. It's a standoff. No one wants to move forward, but they're slowly being pushed in here.
The circle's going to force this engagement. Samty's kind of safe because he's in the northern end, but the trade's through. Yoomroot dies. Sexy Pig's down as well. 2 initial players. Esther, he's dead. Do you have enough room here? Do you have enough of the circle time to be able to get this res? This one's going to hurt. They do. They at least have it, but the initial push comes through.
Down to 2.
Samty clutched it.
Samty is still alive here. It's a 1v3 situation for now. Samty spots out 1, gets the tag, not the frag. He needs to do more here. OMG on the verge of glory, leans the corner. Good shot from Samty. The nade goes up. Will he die? No, he stays alive, but the push comes in from OMG. Samty on the switch up. DP, he goes down. It's OMG to claim the victory.
The insurance policy works for Team Liquid as they back second, but it is indeed OMG who claim victory and get the win.